Welcome to Moviecaps. Today, I will show you a sci-fi thriller from 1995, titled 12 Monkeys. Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The film takes place in the not-too-distant future. A virus, that was intentionally introduced in several sites throughout the world in 1996, has killed virtually all of the world's population, at least 5 billion people. Because the Earth's surface is considered inhospitable by mankind, survivors have built an advanced underground civilization. Animals have reclaimed the surface, and are free to wander. Inmates volunteer to put on protective gear, and collect bug specimens from the surface, to test for the presence of the virus from time to time. The movie opens with a scene of what looks like shooting at an airport. A woman informs about a flight on the speaker system, as a woman rushes towards a man who has been shot. The man places his hand on the woman's face, as a child looks on. Apparently, it turns out that the entire scenario was a dream, as a man wakes up. Another inmate tells the man that there is bad news, and the man has been chosen as a volunteer. The men then communicate that they keep them up on the 7th floor, and that they are messed up. To which the man responds that he doesn't believe any of that. Then the man starts to wear what looks like a modified version of a spacesuit. James Cole is one of these detainees, and he is the person who woke up from the dream. He is selected to go obtain the samples. After obtaining samples, he is granted the opportunity to travel back in time to 1996, in order to learn more about the gang suspected of being responsible, known as the Army of 12 Monkeys. Throughout the next episodes, Cole recalls numerous events from his childhood, as if he were dreaming, including the murder of a guy in an airport, a motif that runs throughout the plot. Cole returns from the outside, and receives a deep cleaning from the authorities in prison. He is then taken to a special chamber, where a man reads about his previous crimes, which include violence, insolence, and disregard for authority. A doctor then asks Cole to sit on a special metal chair. The moment he sits in the chair, straps emerge, which hold his hands in place. Then the doctors say that they thank him for volunteering, and inform him about their program. Cole is then mistakenly transported to 1990. The film shows what looks like a woman giving a speech about art, and a woman suddenly starts to receive notifications on her beeper. She gets out of the room, and heads to prison. A man there informs her about a new individual who has just been caught. The lady looks through a window, and sees a man that has been restrained. She asks the reason for the restraints, and the man tells her that 2 police officers are in the hospital because of the actions of this man. He also tells her that the doctors here had given him a sedative that could tranquilize a horse. She goes into the room, and introduces her as Catherine Rayleigh. She tells her that she does not work for the police, and is a psychiatrist, whose main concern is the welfare of Cole. Cole's only response to this is that he needs to go. Catherine tells him that she cannot ask the police to let him go. She believes she has seen him previously, but his ravings are incomprehensible to her. Cole continues to say that he needs to go and collect information, to which Catherine asks if he knows why he is here, and whether he remembers attacking the cops. During the conversation, Cole asks why he is in chains, and that he needs to go. Catherine continues to ask him about his past, and whether he had been in prison before. Cole responds that he was somewhere underground, and that there were no germs in the area. Cole then asks whether this is October, and he even asks Catherine to tell him which year it is. She responds by asking what year does he think it is, to which he simply responds that it's 1996, while Catherine says that that is the future, and that he is in 1990 right now. Cole is eventually sent to an insane asylum, where he is housed with other mentally ill people. There he is cleaned by the orderlies, and then taken to a man who has his head in his shirt. Hearing his name being called out, the man wakes up, as the orderlies ask if he can show Cole around. All he asks for is $5,000 in exchange. Then he takes Cole on a tour of the prison. He asks Cole about the drugs that he has been given, and Cole just asks him how he can make a call outside the prison. The man also shows Cole the television, and says that they are consumers, and if they do not buy enough of the stuff being sold, then they are termed as mentally unstable. A nurse tells him to calm down, but the man continues to ramble on. When he stands for review by the hospital's board, which includes Riley, Cole continues to beg if he can make one phone call to communicate with the scientists of his time, to recover him. The phone is answered by an unknown woman, with a swarm of wailing children, who has no knowledge of any scientists. Cole encounters Jeffrey Goins, an oddball inmate, who tries to assist him in his escape, by giving him the key to the day room's guarded gate. Cole is swiftly apprehended, and sent to solitary confinement. When Riley and her employer, Dr. Fletcher, walk into the room to check on Cole, he has vanished, having been kidnapped back to his current time by the scientists who brought him there. After notifying the scientists that he was brought to the incorrect year, hospitalized, and drugged, he is probed by the scientists, and offered a second opportunity to finish his task. A second blunder brings him to the front lines of World War I, where he is wounded in the leg. He observes a buddy, Jose, who is injured and being carried on a stretcher, as he crawls around the trenches, nude and in anguish from his wound. Cole is unexpectedly catapulted into the future, before he can speak with Jose. Cole kidnaps Dr. Riley in 1996, and tries to persuade her that he is from the future. Jeffrey Goins, whose father is a well-known virologist, is now out of the institution, working for his father, and has founded the Army of 12 Monkeys, according to him. Cole is now racing against the clock, and after a series of setbacks, he decides to stay in 1996 with Drive Riley, resigning himself to the ultimate extinction of human life. They head to Philadelphia, where they discover Jeffrey Goins' Army of the 12 Monkeys headquarters, in a rundown shop. The group is committed to animal rights, and the liberation of animals from harmful laboratories. The members allege they cut relations with Jeffrey, because he had become too unpredictable and radical, and that he had gone to work for his father, whom they consider an adversary. Catherine and Cole drive to Jeffrey's father's home, where Riley removes the bullet from Cole's leg, that he had picked up in the trenches of World War I. Cole locks Riley in the trunk of their car, and abandons her in the woods. Cole meets Jeffrey in the middle of a fundraiser dinner. Jeffrey rambles on, about how Cole had given him the notion to release a virus, that would wipe out the majority of mankind, when they were both in the institution. Cole flees the estate, pursued by guards, and meets Riley in the woods. An enraged Riley honks the car's horn, to try to draw attention from Dr. Goins' security, while ranting about wanting to stay in Riley's time. When Riley turns to find Cole, she finds that he has disappeared again. Dr. Riley is soon persuaded that Cole is aware of something, since his proclivity for foreseeing the result of trivial occurrences is uncanny. The radio had been tracking the disappearance of a 9-year-old child, who was thought to have fallen into a mine shaft, but, as Cole predicted, the youngster was discovered hidden in a barn, and the absence was a joke, perpetrated by the boy and his companions. The bullet she retrieved from Cole's leg turns out to be pre-1920, forcing her to verify an image taken on the battlefield from her own study, which shows Cole in the trenches. She comes to believe that the Army of 12 Monkeys is a real threat, and she sets out to find Cole, in order to persuade him to join them. Riley resumes her examination of the information Cole is gathering, and visits the same rundown storefront in Philadelphia's western neighborhood, that she and Cole visited previously. Cole comes unexpectedly, when she is pounding on their door. He's now certain that he's insane, and he's asking Riley for assistance. Jeffrey is ranting about how Riley located him, how she must have analyzed his thoughts using a clever computer system, to forecast his future position, inside the shop with his dedicated followers, and those who dread him. His adherents and he go together to carry out their objectives. Instead of releasing the lethal virus, they abduct Jeffrey's father, and place him in a zoo paddock, then unleash all of the zoo's animals into Philadelphia's streets. The news informs Cole and Catherine of the 12 Monkeys plot. Cole recognizes that the 12 Monkeys aren't the true threat, and he tells them so in a phone message. Jose reappears shortly after, giving Cole directions to accomplish his task, and handing him a handgun. Cole first declines, but then spots a present-day guard staring at him. If Cole does not cooperate, Jose makes it obvious that Dr. Riley will be killed. Meanwhile, Cole is wanted by the police for kidnapping Dr. Riley. Dr. Riley recognizes Dr. Peters, a guy who worked with Jeffrey Goins' father in the virology lab, and is an apocalyptic nut in an airport, while attempting to evade capture with Cole. Jose overhears her rantings, as she hurries to alert Cole and hastily identifies him, along with his trip's intentions. The man gets past airport security, and convinces security that his biological samples, one for each of the several places on his itinerary, are harmless, by opening one vial momentarily, and holding it extremely close to the screener's nose. Cole is alerted by Dr. Riley, and the two attempt to stop the guy. Cole is shot by the police, while following the true offender, who flees to board his jet, much to Dr. Riley's distress. Cole's death is observed by a young James Cole, who is with his parents at the time. Cole's dream is revealed to be a recollection of his own death. For a brief period, young Cole and Dr. Riley lock gazes. James' mother encourages her son to forget about the event, as the family exits the airport and proceeds to their car. Peters takes his seat on the plane, and strikes up a discussion with a fellow passenger. From Cole's present, we know her as the chief scientist. Cole had indicated that once the virus was discovered, a scientist would be dispatched to study it, in its unmutated form, in order to produce a treatment in the present. She introduces herself as Jones, and claims she works in insurance. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this.